Yes, so children, we learned about the different layers of atmosphere. Now let us see how atmosphere protects life. Okay, the atmosphere protects life. They protects our life. Okay, the atmosphere protects life. Let us see how they protect life. The atmosphere provides oxygen for breathing to all living things. Okay, the atmosphere, the layer of air surrounds the earth. It is giving oxygen for all the living organism in the earth. It provides carbon dioxide to plants for making food for living things. Okay, not only oxygen, it is giving carbon dioxide also. So first it is giving oxygen to us to support our life. We need oxygen to support our life. Next, they gives carbon dioxide for plants. Why? Then only they can make their food. So it gives carbon dioxide to the plants for making food. Then the atmosphere absorbs a large part of the heat of the sun. It absorbs a large part of the heat of the sun and prevents the earth from getting overheated. It maintains the temperature on the earth. It prevents the earth to get overheated. If the earth gets overheated, it is difficult for us to live, isn't it? At night, it retains the heat and prevents the earth from freezing cold. Yes. So night, that it maintains the heat. Maintains the heat. Atmosphere maintains the heat and prevent it from night. So freezing. Means if it is more cold also, it is difficult for us. So day and night, atmosphere is maintaining the right temperature on the earth. Near its top, the stratosphere contains a layer of gas called ozone. That we learned in the layer of stratosphere. There is a ozone layer. The sun gives out rays known as ultraviolet rays. From the sun there is a harmful rays called UV rays or ultraviolet rays, we say. It's a harmful rays from the sun. It has radiation or harmful rays. If it reaches the earth, it burns our skin and we get skin cancer. It is very harmful to our body. So, the sun gives out rays called ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays is the rays of the sun actually. These rays are very harmful to living things. They cause skin cancer and problems in the eyes. It causes skin cancer in the body as well as it irritates our eyes or our eyes get some health issues or problems. The ozone layer absorbs most of these harmful rays and protects us. Ozone layer is absorbing. Thanks to ozone layer, because it is absorbing all these UV rays. Because of that, it is not reaching the earth. So this ozone layer we can find in the stratosphere layer, the one layer of atmosphere. So in this way, atmosphere is protecting us, protecting our life. So how atmosphere protects our life, children? It provides oxygen to us. Oxygen, all the living organisms in the earth need oxygen to support life. In order to breathe, we need oxygen. So by giving oxygen or by providing us oxygen, atmosphere is helping us or protecting the life of all the living organisms. Next, it gives carbon dioxide. Atmosphere provides carbon dioxide to the plants for making food for all the living things. Plants make their own food, isn't it? It is called photosynthesis. So for making food, plants need carbon dioxide also with the help of sunlight, air and water. So if plants make food, then only it can grow. If it grows, then only we are able to eat or take the use of the plants. Animals also depends on plants. So atmosphere provides carbon dioxide to the plants for making food. Then stratosphere layer, the layer of among the 5 layers, there is a layer called stratosphere. stratosphere, the second layer of the atmosphere, there ozone layer is present. Because of this ozone layer, ultraviolet rays called the harmful rays of the sun is not reaching the earth. There is a harmful rays called ultraviolet rays present in the sun. Actually, ozone layer absorbs this radiation of the sun, this heat of that ultraviolet rays, and protecting us from this falling this ultraviolet rays to the earth. If it happens to reach the earth, what happens? People, we all get health problems, or it burns our skin, and we get skin cancer, and we get eye problems. We can't able to live. We won't able to live in the earth if ultraviolet rays directly reaches the earth. So thanks to ozone layer, it protects protects us how? By absorbing this ultraviolet rays. And this ozone layer is present in stratosphere, the second layer of atmosphere. Okay children, these are the ways how the atmosphere protects our life. So children, next is about the properties of air. Properties of air. We learned about atmosphere, its layers, and how atmosphere protects the life. Now we come to this topic, properties of air. Let's see. Experiment. We are going to learn the properties of air through some experiments. Okay, the first experiment. Materials needed: 2 balloons, 12 inches long stick, thread, and a pin. You can see the image here, children. See the image. Someone is holding a stick, and on 2 ends of the stick we can see 2 balloons, isn't it? And using a thread, someone is holding that stick, long stick. Okay children? Yes children, so we can see someone holding a stick and with a thread, and on the 2 ends of the stick we can see 2 balloons. See the image children? Can you see? Yes. Okay, now what is the experiment? Let's see. Tie a piece of thread in the middle of the stick. Tie 2 balloons filled with air at both ends of the stick as shown in the figure. The balloon is filled with air, isn't it? It is both the balloons are inflated balloons, means it is filled with air. Hold a stick with the help of a thread like a balance. Like a balance, you have to hold it. Now what do you observe? We can see 2 balloons filled with air. Now what you should do is prick one of the balloons with a pin. Any one balloon, just prick it with a pin. What happens? Now the balloons are balanced. The stick is straight. Like a balance, the stick is straight. After pricking a balloon with a pin, what happens? See, the end of the stick with filled balloon goes down, while the end with deflated balloon rises up. Deflated balloon means when we prick the balloon, what happens? Air goes out. So the balloon got empty, no air. So it got deflated, we say. Okay. So when we prick the balloon with a pin, the balance, it has gone, and where the weight is there, or where the air filled with balloon, balloon filled with air, that to that side, this stick gets tilt to down. Where the inflated balloon is there, to that side, that stick gets down or tilt, we say. Okay. So the reason what? Both balloons have equal quantity of air. Both the balloons have equal quantity of air. Both the balloons were filled with air in the same quantity. Balloon filled with air is heavier than the deflated balloon. That's why that balloon one side got down when we prick the other balloon with a pin. Balloon filled with air is heavier. This side weight is there, so it came down to this side. Understood? Yes. So what is the conclusion from this experiment? Yes, that means air has weight. So first property of air is air has weight, we say. Air has weight. How did you prove that air has weight, or how do you prove air has weight? By an experiment. How? Take 2 balloons filled with air and take a stick, take a thread and a pin also, and hold the stick using a thread and tie the balloon at the both ends of the stick, and now the balloon is balanced in the stick. Now when we prick any one of the balloon, what happens? The stick gets tilt, or it goes down to the side where the filled air balloon, to that side, isn't it, to the inflated balloon side, because it is filled with air, so it has weight. That's why it is tilting to that side. This proves that air has weight. Okay. Now the next experiment is materials needed for this experiment: a glass tumbler, a square piece of cardboard. You can see the image, children. You can see the image. There there is a glass tumbler is there, a square cardboard is there. Okay. Now, and water. Procedure. What we have to do? Take the glass tumbler and fill it with water up to the brim. Take a glass and you have to fill the water up to the brim, up to the top. You have to fill the water. Hold it with your left hand. You have to hold that glass of water that you filled fill the water up with your left hand. Close the mouth of the tumbler with the cardboard and press it. Now you can close that glass with the cardboard piece and press it with your right hand. With your right hand, holding the cardboard firmly. Now you see the image how they, the first image you see a glass full of water in left hand someone is taken, and using the right hand with the cardboard piece they hold it tightly, isn't it? Then now carefully remove your right hand. Actually, and then invert the tumbler, holding the cardboard firmly with your right hand. After holding it, you have to invert it. You can see the image. Invert it. Then what happens? Slowly, after inverting it, slowly you have to remove the right hand. Okay. Now what happens? The cardboard does not fall down. See, you removed your hand. But what? See the cardboard, see the image. The cardboard does not fall. This is because of the air pressure that is acting on it. Why this cardboard did not fall to the ground? Because of the air pressure that is acting on it. The cardboard does not fall even if the right hand is removed from it due to the pressure of air, we say. Due to the pressure of air or the air pressure that is acting on it. This experiment shows that air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure, we say. This is the conclusion of the second experiment. Air exerts pressure. Okay, children, the second property we say. So, in this second experiment, we have taken a glass full of water up to the top, then you hold it in the left hand, then using the right hand you have to close it firmly with the cardboard piece, then you have to invert the glass tumbler and you have to slowly remove the right hand from it. But that time you can see like a magic, it is the cardboard do not fall down. Why? Because of the air pressure acting on it, the pressure of air acting on it, we say. This experiment proves that air exerts pressure. Now next, do and observe. You can do this and you can notice what happens. The next experiment. Keep a lighted incense stick at the corner of your house. That your mother used to do, isn't it? Lighted incense stick. Incense stick means like an agarbatti. You know agarbatti? Yes. So you can light it and you can keep in any corner of the house. Okay. Incense stick is a substance that is burned off for the sweet smell it produces. Agarbatti, when we light it, what happens? That smell spreads full everywhere in the house, isn't it? If we keep in any corner also, the smell spreads everywhere. What do you observe after a few minutes? The smell of the incense fills the entire house. Entire house we can experience a good smell of agarbatti. Air spreads in all direction. That means air spreads everywhere in all direction. Or suppose if you open a perfume bottle and if you put perfume, what happened, you know, within seconds this perfume smell gets spread everywhere, isn't it? That means air spread in all directions. It's another property we say. Air spreads in all direction. Air spreads in all directions, we say. This is another property. Okay, children. So we learned about the properties of air. We are learning about the properties of air. So we learned that air has weight. How we learned? How do you prove that air has weight? Yes, by doing an experiment. If we take two balloons filled with air and a stick and tie the two balloons at the both ends of the stick, and using a thread you have to hold it. Then now the balloon is balanced, the stick is balanced, we say. Then if you prick a balloon, what happens? That balance will go off and the stick will it will tilt to one side, down to one side where the inflated balloon is there, where the balloon filled where the balloon filled with air is there, to that side it will tilt. Okay, that means air has weight. Next experiment what we learned is air exerts. Its property is air exerts pressure. How do you prove that air exerts pressure? For that also we have an experiment, isn't it? You have to take a glass full of water up to the top, up to the brim. Then you have to hold it in the left hand. Then using a cardboard piece, you have to hold it firmly, tightly. Then afterwards you have to invert it. Invert the glass tumbler. Then you have to slowly take off the right hand. That time you can see a magic that this cardboard do not fall down because of the pressure of air or air pressure acting on it. So that means air exerts pressure, we say, the second property of air. Then we saw about air spreading everywhere. If you open a perfume bottle and spray, within seconds this that smell spreads everywhere. That fragrance, that smell, everyone can experience that. The same way, if you light an incense stick or we say an agarbatti where any corner of your house, what happens? Within few minutes this smell of that incense stick or the agarbatti spreads everywhere. That means air spreads in all directions, we say, isn't it? Okay, coming to the next experiment, children, I will tell you one experiment. Like take a football without air. The football you have to take that, you have to fill air in that. To deflated football you have to take no air, so it is empty. So you have to fill air using an air pump. You are pumping the air into the football. Any one of the football you are pumping it. So what happens? You can see air fills inside and in the football, and it takes the shape. Air fills the space and it takes the round shape of the football. Okay, children, just take two football which has no air in it, and to one football you have to pump the air. So you can see slowly the air fills the full space of the football and it takes the shape of round shape of the football. That means air occupies shape. Now the deflated football becomes inflated, or we filled air. Air fills the space, or we can say air occupies space. Air occupies space. This is another property of air, children. Air occupies space. It fills the gap. It fills the space. Just like pumping, when we pump air to the deflated football, what happens? It fills, air filled the space around it and it takes the round shape of a football. Means air occupies space, we say. Okay children, so these are the properties of air. We have seen that air has weight, we have seen that air exerts pressure, at the same time air spreads in all directions and air occupies space.